Do you feel like there's just one aisle in the grocery store that your child eats from? And if it's not from the grocery store, it has to be fries, sausage, pizza, and the like. Do you really find it hard to not compare them to your other children? Well, today's video is to share with you what has helped us to navigate when we found ourselves in that position. Before I continue, I have to let you know I'm by no means the expert on this subject. And this is just a mother who took charge of the health of her home, which I believe is how it's supposed to be. The health of our children has a lot to do with what we do at home, our lifestyle in general, than the number of visits we make to the doctor's office. All right, enough of the fluff. So when a child is born, they are given a gift from the mom called the microbiome. So how is this gift given to the child? As a baby travels down the vaginal canal, they get into contact with the mother's microbiome. This is why it is important, the lifestyle that we as parents live, because the way we live and the health that we have is something that we are going to pass down to our children. Anyway, back to the topic. So looking at the root cause of why your child may be choosing foods that are not healthy or maybe craving just a particular food could be because of the microbes that they have in their gut. Now let's look at what happens if a child is born through cesarean section. When a child is born through cesarean section, they miss out on the microbes that the mother could have passed on to them as they travel down the vaginal canal. Not only that, the infant picks up antimicrobial resistant bacteria from the surrounding, and these antimicrobial resistant bacteria are known to cause certain diseases. But we also know that antibiotics given at birth, before and after birth, can impact the infant's gut, which was what happened in our case. Even though I had my child through vaginal delivery, we were given antibiotics at birth as a prophylaxis because of a suspected infection. But here is the good news that I want to share with you. Researchers have found out that when they studied vaginal born children at around age 7 to C-section kids, there wasn't significant difference in their gut microbiome. Also, in a study where microbes of a healthy mice were transplanted into stressed mice, the stressed mice showed fewer anxiety symptoms. In another study, fruit flies that had certain bacterial species in their microbes ate more protein, but when researchers changed their microbes, they ate more sugar. Now, that's not all. Listen to this one. Athletes were found to have a group of bacteria that were making them do better in their sports. Now, when these group of bacteria were transferred into mice, it was found that the mice treadmill performance increased. So this is good news, because even though your child's microbes may have been impacted negatively due to how they entered this world, we can influence their gut by introducing and also helping existing ones by influencing them. The best way to do this is through food. Where we sleep, work, live impact our gut microbes, but the biggest way to influence our gut microbe is through food. At this point, you are probably thinking, what irony. My child is a picky eater. My child wants just certain foods, and you are telling me the way to change that is to feed them a certain food. Watch out for my new video on how to use fermented foods, how to blend in certain foods to help impact and change your child's microbe. We know from here that lifestyle matters. We know from here that what we eat, what we do, what we introduce into our bodies matters, even though we might have missed out on the first stages of introducing the microbes, we do know from here that what we can do as we live on matters. Now there comes in the question about, what about neurology? What about if my child is eating the way they eat because of how their brain functions? And I believe you have heard about the brain-gut connection. Of course, there isn't one answer to every problem, but I believe that if you are able to impact or influence your child's microbes, that you can impact how their gene react. We cannot, as far as I know, we cannot change our genes, but our microbes can influence how our genes react to certain things, how our genes behaves. So let's look into this further. In my next video, I am going to show you how to introduce certain foods to your picky eater so as to influence their gut microbiome, especially if the child has been introduced to antibiotics at birth or they were born through C-section. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe so that when I upload, you can get notification. I'm a full-time wife mother, so I may not be as consistent as your regular influencers. So the best way to know that I've uploaded something is to subscribe and put on the notification bell icon. Thank you. Bye-bye.